Gemini, last month, June, it's a little bit unpleasant. An end to your dreams, maybe. Have you picked yourself up? Well, I certainly think you have. You look at that central card, the Orchard, common only to this deck, and you're meant to interpret it however you want. But I always see it as being anything you want is yours. So in July, anything you desire can be yours. A wonderful feeling, isn't it? In the past, you're a very loving person, Gemini. In the past, you were the queen of love. Maybe a bit of a fool for love. Not as bad as the Knight, but, a bit of a fool for love. But very compassionate, very caring person. And I think because of the way you've been, you're now being blessed. You're getting multiple blessings. You took that tower on the chin, and you've looked on the bright side and you've filled yourself full of love. And now the universe is respecting that and sending back all sorts of blessings. And so much so that you're attracting good fortune, you're attracting good people around you. And it's as though everything has changed for you, and people can see this sort of new confidence, this shine come from you. Maybe now that you're free of the burden of your ambition and free to live life happily. Doesn't mean to say you can't resurrect it. Indeed, in the future, we see a rebirth which is full of hope. Could that be a rebirth of your ideas, your plans? Could be. It could be something completely different, couldn't it? We do have some more deception here, and of course there's been a lot of deception which has got you down. But I see this as a test, and how you deal with this test will reflect on how many more blessings you are granted. What would change it all is you taking a rest, and you probably do need a rest. But I do see the outcome as positive. So maybe you're being told to just grin and bear it for a little while. Forgive and forget the deception. Because yet again, what looks like a new love comes into your life. It could be an existing love. It could be just to do with filling your heart full of love. But often I see this as a new love. Now, the energy that dominates this month's reading for July, I think couldn't be better, particularly after the disappointment of last month. It's an energy that's common only to this deck, the Orchard. And the guidance is that you interpret it how you want. But how I've always interpreted it is that you can have anything you want. So yes, anything you desire can be yours. I think this is because you gave up on your real target and maybe did some soul searching and saying, what do I really want? Does it mean that you come back to your old goal? It could well do. Or do you now have a different goal? Who knows? Well, probably you do. But the important thing is, it can be yours. It really can. And this goes throughout all the other energies that I can see here. Now, as I say, you've always been a very loving person, Gemini. We know that. And the energy of the past, which is clearly important this month, is the Queen of Cups, Queen of Love. Nurturing. Loving everybody, loving everything. Maybe a bit vulnerable because she's so loving. Maybe you feel you've been a bit vulnerable. You've been pursuing your dream and it's been shattered. Do you feel you've been exploited? You're quite understanding, aren't you? And that's important. because of how you've handled things. You've been tested, let's face it. Because of how you've handled things, the universe, your ancestors, God, Allah, whatever you want to see it as, is rewarding you. Rewarding you with multiple blessings, but above all, rewarding you with a high vibration. And it's that high vibration that will attract more blessings and attract good people to you. It's as though the sun's shining from you. I used to tell this story whenever I saw this card, and I haven't for a while, so it's worth telling it again. I was having a beignet in Café au Lait in the Café du Monde in a French quarter of New Orleans. And in walked Alan Toussaint, who I doubt if anybody else there knew who he was. I suppose he's most famous for having written Lady Marmalade, but, he's an R&B artist in his own right. Very tall man in a white fedora and a white suit. And the cafe just went quiet and looked at him. Well, that's the magnetic effect that you have on people. Now this sort of fortune continues because in the future you're reborn. Does this mean that you resurrect your plans? It could do, but it could mean that you have completely new plans, completely new priorities. You're reborn and you're full of hope. So absolutely beautiful, and this is the future. So things are looking up for you. It's like you had to go through the catharsis of last month to get to this point, Gemini. But this is looking fantastic. Now you are, I suppose last month was a major test of you. And looking at the blessings this month, you've come through it. But you are tested again this month. And that leads to the outcome. And I see the outcome as a very good outcome. So presumably you pass this test. And this test is more deception. Or at least attempted deception. And how you deal with this deception is so critical. Maybe they don't even get away with it. Maybe you catch them. But whatever, it's the way that you deal with it that is all telling and will shape your future trajectory. So don't fret over this. It's just a little test. What would change everything is you taking a rest. And given all you've been through, that sounds to me like a very good thing to do. But I'm not sure it is in the light of these other energies, because the outcome I see is very positive. So I think you're being advised not to rest. I think you're being advised to continue loving, continue caring, continue being the wonderful person that you are, Gemini. And in doing so, you're going to attract more blessings. So tempting though it is to rest, I'm not at all certain that that's the message we're getting. No, I think you have to continue. The outcome is what I normally associate with a new love. I guess we could be talking of friendship, we could be talking of an existing love, we could be simply talking of filling your heart full of love, which you regularly do. We've already had the Queen of Cups. But I seem to remember last month we had this Saint card in the same position for you. And it is feeling like a new love is coming to your life and changing everything. That's what it feels like to me. Now, there was another there was another zodiac sign this month that had this card, or this energy, as an outcome. Out of something difficult. I'm not certain it was the Seven of Swords, but it was a similar conflict card. And then we had, coming out of it, was this Ace of Cups. And I concluded for them that maybe it meant that there was some deception in the person you met, that you meet a narcissist. That isn't a feeling I get from this at all. I get a very good feeling from it. I was concerned for you last month, Gemini. I'm pleased to say that last month was a test, and a test that you've passed with flying colours. And as a result, you're very much blessed this month. There is a further test here. There is further deception. And I'm pretty certain you passed this one with flying colours as well. You're clearly someone that's full of love, and I think that's why you're passing these tests. And right now, anything can be yours. Literally. And the universe is blessing you. It feels like the sun's shining down on you. In fact, radiating out of you. So a wonderful, wonderful month for you. Wonderful month to achieve things. And I believe you do. I really do. As I say, there's a test coming up, but I think you passed this test admirably. And I think it was last month, the outcome was a new love, and we've got this again. I mean, it doesn't have to be a new love. It could be an existing love. It could be filling your heart full of love, and we know that you like that. It could simply be a friendship, but given that we've had it twice, I can't help but feel it's a new love. And I think it's that new love that has changed everything in your life, completely changed everything. Now, I know you're tired, you've been through a lot, and it must be tempting to take a rest. But I don't think you should. I think you need to keep doing what you're doing, because whatever you're doing is so right. And in the future, you're going to be reborn and full of hope. Does that mean that you resurrect the plans that were shattered last month? It could do, or it could mean that you have completely new plans. But whatever it is, it's all very, very positive. Very positive.